Hello yarn lovers! If you are looking for a super simple and perfectly pretty crochet edging, then keep watching and I will show you how to crochet the picot stitch. So I'm starting off with just a simple granny square just so I can show you how to work the edging. I'm going to be using a double knit yarn with a 4mm hook. You can use whichever yarn you're using for your project. So if you're making a blanket, just use the same hook size and the same yarn that you use for the rest of your blanket. So I'm going to start by putting a slip knot on my hook, and then in any corner of your blanket or your project I'm going to go straight in with a single crochet like so, and then I'm going to chain 3. It's 1, 2, 3. I'm then going to slip stitch through the front loop of this first stitch and the front leg of this, the left leg of this first stitch. I find doing it this way you get you don't get any gaps. So traditionally you would slip stitch into that first chain, but I prefer to do it this way. So we're just going through that front loop and the left leg and creating a slip stitch, and then, because this is the corner, I'm going to put another single crochet into that corner. We're then going to move on to the very first stitch, so I'm going to put a single crochet in there and then chain 3, and again we're going to slip stitch through this front loop and left leg of that stitch, and then single crochet into the next stitch. And we're really just going to be repeating this around, so single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, slip stitch through that front loop and that left leg, and then a single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, form your picot, and then single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3 and picot, and single crochet into the next stitch. So you keep going until you get to the next corner, and I will just show you to do that, how to do that corner once more. So I'm just coming up to this corner. I've got one last stitch left to work in, and I'm going to be putting a picot in the stitch. So that's single crochet, chain 3, and then slip stitch, so into the next stitch we're going to single crochet, and then I'm going to put picot in the next stitch. So over here we started off with a picot and then a single crochet. Here we're having a single crochet and then a picot. It's just the way that the stitches have worked out as we go across, but it doesn't matter which way around you do this. It will depend on how many stitches you have. Just as long as you're just remembering you're putting 2 single crochets in total into this corner. So I've got our single crochet, and then we're going to put another single crochet and then our picot. Just having that extra stitch, and then the second single crochet is then going to go into that first stitch there. So just remember in the corners you've got a total of 2 single crochets worked in there. It doesn't matter whether the picot is the first single crochet or the second one. And then we're just going to continue around, so a single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll work our picot. And then single crochet in the next stitch. So basically you've got a picot in one stitch and a single crochet in the next stitch. That's how it's working out, and you're just going to continue with this all the way around. So I've just worked all the way around. I've just put a picot in that last stitch, so we're going to put a single crochet to this next stitch and then join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet and then fasten off. But if you find that you have a different number of stitches, you can always just add an extra single crochet in there. So you end up with a beautiful picot edging that's perfect for so many different projects. I have many more beautiful border patterns here on my YouTube channel, so why don't you check out my borders and edgings playlist next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.